Hi, my name is Willa Robinson, and I am the owner of Willas Books. I started collecting books in 1978. Uh, I got saved, and I was always collecting books on the Holy Spirit. But anytime I was uh, collecting books on the religion, there were black books there. So I started collecting black books. I've always been a reader, love reading, but now I have this desire to collect black books, for want of a better word. And when I say black books, I mean books about black people, books by black people. I've always been interested in our history. And then I worked for the post office for 31 years, and so I went to a post office, and there was a bookstore close by, and so on my lunch hour, I always went to the bookstore, and that's when I really got into collecting books about African American experience. The passion for books and for reading started with my father. My father was an avid reader, and so even though he never picked me up to read to me, he always had a book or a paper in his hand. So I said, this must be good. Somewhere in my mind, I said, this must be good. And I started reading anything, comic books, anything. But then when I got older, I started reading better books and looking for books about me, about my people. And so the passion just have grown and grown. I can't get enough of books. I have all types of books in my store. I have books, political books, books about my favorite president, Obama. I have The Help. I have Ralph Ellison, his autobiography, his biography, I'm sorry to say. I have W.E.B. Du Bois, and just all types of books. Michael Jackson. I have Bibles. I have Bibles. I have books on Africa, Indians, and then I have one of my favorite, Along This Way by James Weldon Johnson, which is his autobiography. And then I have classic paperbacks with James Baldwin and The Learning Tree by Gordon Parks. And also I have a little fluff. And when I say fluff, I mean books about romance and stuff like that. I also have books on musicians like Quincy Jones, and I have Tavis Smiley, and just all sorts of good things that you would like to read. One of my favorite books is When We Ruled, and this was written this was 500 years before slavery. And then I have a book by Ed Dwight, Soaring on the Wings of a Dream. He is a local boy, Kansas City, Kansas. He is an excellent sculptor. I hope that's the right thing, sculptor to call him. But anyway, he's so very good. I think he did the sculpture of the Buffalo Soldiers in Leavenworth. And then I have books on art, Creating Black American, and this is by Neil Irvin Painter, and she is an artist. And then I have Soul on Ice, which is a classic. And so I have normally collected all the old stuff. We're going over here to the suitcase of ebony and show you what wonderful ebony that we have and that I have collected over time. Ralph Bunch, isn't it lovely? Excellent. Then I have the Ronettes. People on Facebook are crazy about Ronettes. Then I have this Life's Coretta Scott King's picture and her husband on life. Wonderful. Then, how about the Negro woman? Isn't she beautiful? And Mr. Bond, Julian Bond. We lost him not too long ago. And how about Hazel Scott? How about Hazel Scott? Beautiful lady. And the one that tops all of the young men like. Oh, here's our civil rights leader, Loretta King, in her husband's footsteps. Wonderful pictures. These are historical magazines, and you need to keep them. Oh, look what we got. We have Josephine Baker Comes Home. Isn't that lovely? And the crooner of all times, Nat King Cole. Can't you hear? Chestnuts roasting on the open fire. Beautiful. And a little bit more modern, Marvin Gaye, the crooner. The one that sang such beautiful songs. This is the Lena that I was trying to find, the ebony with Lena Horne on it. And it says here, is Lena still the queen? And I would say, yes. She's a beautiful lady. And she had such class in her carriage. And she was always a very beautiful, carried herself in a very elegant and beautiful way. This is Hazel Scott's former husband, Adam Clayton Powell. He was one of the first black congressmen, and he was very popular. He was a minister, but he also was a powerful congressman. And he was 4 positions from being the president. One more and then I'll be through. I wanted you to see, this is not the one I want you to see, but this one is just as good. How about this? Meet the real Lena Horne. Beautiful. So it's a lot of treasure. We have treasure. A treasure trove of history about our progressing through our culture, and it's wonderful. Let's talk music. I want to introduce you to some of my favorite music and the artists. This one is the Coasters. They were my favorite. Yakety Yak, Don't Talk Back, you remember that? And then here I have this, they had this one in the newspaper. Errol Garner, Concert by the Sea, was one of his most popular records. And then we have Motown. This is Thelma Houston. Motown. Beautiful. And then I have Sonny Chris. This is my favorite jazz player. I like alto sax and tenor sax. And Sonny Chris is he plays the alto sax and tenor sax. But he's my favorite artist. And the beat goes. And then we have Shalimar. I think This is probably one of the photographer's best. Otis Redding. Who doesn't know about Otis Redding? Sitting on the dock of the bay. This is not that particular record, but that's what he's noted for. How about Coltrane? My favorite thing. Did Oprah get that from Coltrane? I worry about you. Arthur Prysock. Arthur Prysock. That lovely voice. Little Milton. King of Blues. Well, I won't say King of Blues. Jazz, Johnny Hodges. And we can go on and on and on. Oh, let's see. Miles Davis. War. It's a joy being in the store. When I started out, I had a passion for books, but now I've developed a passion for music. There was a time when I only liked music because it sounded good, dancing and all that. But now I know the history. I know about the men and women who sang and played, and so I have a relationship with the music, with the books. I never get tired of coming to the store. I never say, I don't want to go. It's always good to come to the store. If something is going on in my life, when I come to the store, it goes away. These books are wrapped up in my purpose. My purpose for being here is some way tied to books, and it's because of my love for the written word. Sonny Chris is my favorite jazz player. He plays the alto sax and the tenor sax. But my brother introduced him to me when I first came to Kansas City, because I'm a little country girl. And I didn't care about jazz, but he taught me about jazz. And so Sonny Chris, this is the portrait of Sonny Chris. It's my favorite jazz musician. So I want you to hear it. It sounds like on a clear day I can see forever. Willas Books is going to leave you now with a little bit of Sonny Chris, my favorite.